In the mountains of central China, there is a bridge that barely looks real. It stretches across a deep ravine, hangs around 300 meters above the ground, and replaces the one thing people trust most on a bridge, the floor, with clear glass. When it opened in 2016, the world rushed to see it. Some people laughed, some froze. Some dropped to their hands and knees before they had even made it halfway across. And then, less than 2 weeks later, it was shut down. So how do you build something like this in one of China's most dramatic landscapes and make it strong enough for hundreds of people to walk straight into the void? Before the bridge itself became famous, Zzhangjiajie already looked like a place that should not exist. The wider Wulingyuan area in Hunan is known for more than 3,000 narrow quartz sandstone pillars, and many over 200 meters high, with ravines, caves, streams, waterfalls, and natural stone bridges spread across the landscape. Mist hangs between the peaks so often that the whole region can feel like it is floating. That is a big reason the bridge caught people's attention so fast. It was built in a place that already felt unreal. But that also created the first problem, because in a setting like this, a normal bridge would have looked heavy, blunt, and completely out of place. The man behind the project was Israeli architect Haim Dotan. His goal was not to build a giant landmark that dominated the canyon. He wanted the structure to feel almost invisible, like a thin white line fading into cloud and fog. In his own design paper, he described the bridge as something that should disturb the landscape as little as possible. That idea shaped everything that came later. The glass floor was there for the thrill, but it was also there to remove visual weight. The structure had to do something very difficult. It had to be strong enough to cross a canyon, yet light enough to seem like it was barely there. That sounds poetic when you say it out loud, but turning that into real engineering over a ravine is where the easy part ended. The bridge, which opened to the public on the 20th of August 2016, was about 430 meters long, 6 meters wide, and suspended about 300 meters above the canyon floor. It could hold up to 800 people at a time and was paved with 99 clear glass panels. In simple terms, it had to connect two cliff edges while keeping a very slim profile. Research on the construction describes it as a ground-anchored suspension bridge with a 430-meter main span. The canyon's geology made the job harder. Builders had to create pile foundations for the towers, excavate and cast the anchorages on both sides, and then haul the main cable strands across the canyon above catwalks before the bridge deck could even begin to take shape. None of that is the part tourists think about when they see the finished bridge. But without those hidden foundations and anchor points biting into the rock, the famous glass walkway would have been nothing more than an idea hanging over empty air. And even after the cables were in place, the hardest part was still ahead. One of the smartest decisions in the whole project was refusing to build a bulky deck. Dotan's technical paper says the team used a suspended girder design to avoid the huge beams you might expect on a bridge this size. The girder beam depth was kept to just 0.6 meters, which gave the structure an unusually slim profile for such a large span. The bridge itself was built from steel and concrete, with glass fitted into the deck, and reports state that its weight reached around 2,200 tons. That may sound strange for a bridge meant to feel airy, but the weight actually helped. It made the crossing feel more stable underfoot. In other words, the bridge had to look delicate while behaving like something much more solid. That balance is what gives the Zzhangjiajie Bridge its disturbing effect. Because your eyes say this should not hold you, the engineer says otherwise. But visual trust is one thing. Real trust comes from what happens when the wind starts pushing on a bridge this exposed. A bridge hanging in a deep canyon does not behave like a bridge on flat ground. Dotan's paper explains that the canyon had its own wind effect, with wind speed and angle behaving differently from open terrain. The bridge was tested for 6 months in a wind lab at Hunan University, with test speeds reaching 56 meters per second. Reports added another detail that says a lot about how carefully the team had to think. Dotan originally wanted glass handrails too, but simulations showed they would catch the wind like sails, so the design switched to steel poles that let air pass through more easily. The team also had to think about vibration, because frightened pedestrians do not walk like calm pedestrians. Reports claimed that 50 heavy glass balls were placed on the bridge surface, and 2 large water reservoirs were suspended underneath to help dampen movement. The bridge was built to hold people, yes, but it was also built to manage their fear. Even then, there was one more problem no calculation could solve on its own. People still had to believe the glass would not fail. By the time Zzhangjiajie was preparing to open, glass attractions in China already had a trust problem. In 2015, a glass walkway at Yuntai Mountain made headlines after one layer cracked, even though reports said the structure itself stayed safe. That incident mattered because it changed the way Zzhangjiajie's team introduced their bridge to the public. So what did they do? They staged demonstrations. Reports claimed that officials invited people to smash the panels with giant hammers and then drove a vehicle across the bridge. Doutan was later quoted as saying a 40-ton truck had been driven over one of the glass panels during testing, and that only the top layer shattered under heavy hammering while the lower layers remained intact. That was the message they wanted the world to understand. Even if one layer breaks, the bridge does not suddenly give way. But proving safety in a test is very different from handling what happens after millions of people see the videos. When the bridge opened for trial operation on August 20th, 2016, it was instantly sold as the world's highest and longest glass-bottom pedestrian bridge. That alone would have been enough to draw crowds. Add the setting, the clear floor, the social media photos, and the videos of people flattening themselves against the deck, and the bridge quickly became a global attraction. Early operations limited the number of visitors to 800 people at one time and around 8,000 per day, with reservations required. But those limits were no match for the hype. Reports soon described visitors lining up for hours, crowding the site, and overwhelming the surrounding systems. The bridge was built to hang above a canyon. What nobody had fully solved yet was the mess happening back on land, in the parking, ticketing, transport, and crowd flow around it. And that is where the story took its surprising turn. Just 12 to 13 days after opening, the Zzhangjiajie Grand Canyon Glass Bridge was closed. That sounds like the kind of ending that usually points to structural failure, especially for a bridge made of glass. But the official explanation was different. Reports said the closure was driven by overwhelming demand and the need to upgrade support facilities, not by a problem with the bridge itself. Local officials said the structure had passed safety inspections and that the rush of visitors exposed weaknesses in the surrounding infrastructure. Parking had to be expanded, booking had to be improved, traffic had to be managed. Some reports said daily demand ran far beyond the intended limit. So the strange truth is that the glass held, the cables held, the towers held, but the first thing that fell under pressure was the experience surrounding the bridge. It reopened on September 30th, 2016, with upgraded systems and a reported daily capacity of 10,000 people.